Hello guys, welcome to another driving test video. So the video you are about to watch is a test at Bromley Driving Test Center on the 5th of February 2024, and this test was a pass with just 3 minor faults. So that's 3 driving faults. The test was on a Monday and test time was at 3:29 p.m. in the afternoon. Driving faults are 1 for positioning, normal stop, 1 for reverse park control, and 1 for vehicle checks. So as you can see, this driving test started with the parking at the test center. The learner was unable to reverse straight into the bay on the first attempt, but as you would see here, like I would normally say in previous videos, it is not a problem if you needed to go forward and readjust yourself to do the parking again. Now, if you feel like it is better for you to go back forward to your starting position and reattempt it, that is also not a problem. And as you would see here, we do not have equal space on the left hand side and the right hand side of the car, and that is also not a problem. So if you are always trying to get your car centered in the center of the bay, don't bother yourself. The criteria or the requirement is that you are in the bay, so all sides of the car are in the bay, and that was accomplished here. So keep that in mind. So here they are now driving out of the test center. So let us see if there are any other thing that maybe we could improve on this test, because don't forget, because we have 3 minor faults doesn't necessarily mean there were only 3 minor faults on this test. There might be things that an examiner might have just ignored and maybe mention later on but not give a fault for, and there could be things sometimes where, you know, someone probably just didn't see, but we might see it because we're looking at this on a video. We are sitting down in your seat, probably with some popcorn, I hope, and it's easier for us to see everything from the third person's view, or is it second person's view. But anyways, so yeah, let's see if we can pick up any other thing other than the 3 faults. There was a little hesitation to make the decision at the roundabout here, but luckily it was still safe enough by the time the learner had moved on. Now, if the instruction for you at the roundabout is for the second exit, remember that as you come through the first exit on this bend, you want to keep to your left because the next exit is going to be your exit. So stay left here as the learner has done and follow it through all the way around. Now at this point, look out for any bus at the bus stop so that you can make adjustments when and if necessary. So the learner has done a good job here, keeping well to the left and gone all the way through it. So good job. And the speed was also good as well. Keep in mind, sometimes learners do come through this bend quite too fast, and positioning sometimes is a little bit off to the right, whereby holding back potential traffic on the right if there was anyone trying to get around from the right. As you turn into the road on the left ahead, be aware that oncoming vehicles might be in your lane because of parked cars on their own lane. So make sure that you reduce your speed well enough and position well to the left as you take your turn. And if you're sweeping the road and looking out for signs, then you should see this one-way sign here. So this would be for the bend ahead of you. Keep in mind that also that the road ahead is going to be a no entry. Funny enough, a lot of learner drivers still miss this sign and try to go straight ahead, which of course you're going to get a serious fault. Now right here again, you can see the one-way system starts at this point. Don't miss it, which means if you're turning right at the end of the road, keep to your right if you're turning right. Don't stay on the left hand side. And ahead, I always advise to reduce your speed as you approach the junction for any cars coming out from the car park on your left. And also, fair enough, it's a one-way, but remember that to your right, you could also have a cyclist coming down that road. So don't just assume that it is clear. Reduce speed to just give you time to look out for those potential hazards or situation. And remember at this point that as you turn left, you are following the road. You're not taking the road on the left here, unless if you're told that. But you should follow this road around along with the bus and keep to your right, because on your left is a bus lane. Don't forget that it's still a one-way. So nothing is coming into this side of the road. Keep right and then turn left at the end of the road. I mean, if you're good and you're looking out for signs and you're sweeping the road, you wouldn't miss it. So right here is the point. Keep this in mind and be careful of this junction. You might mount the curb if you steer too early. Don't rush it. Take your time, check properly, and make the right decision according to the situation during the time of your test. I've had few learners come through this route on their test, and so far this is the best approach speed. Most learners tend to miss the sign for the bend here, and when they come into the bend they see it last minute and then hence getting too fast into it, and in few cases having to slow down so sudden. Now if you do down your test and there's someone behind you, that might just change the situation for you, which ends up in a serious fault because you've just obviously reduce speed suddenly in an unsafe way with a car or another vehicle behind you closely. So keep this in mind. I believe that this is the point where the learner got a minor fault for normal stop, because to me the car doesn't actually look straight enough to the road, and I felt like there was a vibration just before the stop, which kind of meant that we did hit the curb with the front wheels. And when this is the case, that means that the front of the car is more to the left while the back end of the car is more into the road, which obviously is going to affect any other vehicle that was to pass you if you remain at that point. And I must say that this has actually been a very good drive, considering the time of the day that it is. Remember that it's about 3:30 and the road has been quite busy. So the way he's dealt with many of the meeting situation has been very good. So it comes to a very good speed on time, and finds the right points and places to pull in, and actually does that when and if it's necessary. So it's been a very good job with the meeting situation and dealing with those situations. When you come into such a situation at a junction here, be mindful of the pedestrians. Don't start rolling off while you're looking into the right, because you should know if and when those pedestrians are crossing, just like right here. So that shows good observation and awareness at that junction. And right here is one of the pulling up that could change your day. It could either pass it if you do it right and fail if you do it wrong. So let's take a pause. So if you are used to pulling up wide from the curb, this might be a problem for you. Now, if you see here when it pulled up there, when we look from the left camera, we can see that it's very close to the pavement, and that helps the situation on the main road here. And you now notice that it allows two cars to be able to pass together on the main road without obstructing the traffic flow. If he had pulled up too far to the right, which is into the main road, this wouldn't have been possible because those behind him would have to wait for oncoming traffic before they're able to use the right lane to pass. Now, many times learners might say, oh, but the space wouldn't fit two cars. But the proof right here, as you can see, that is, if you pull up properly, it can actually fit two cars and your car. So the road takes 3 cars if you pull up properly. So keep this in mind. Learn your pulling up, especially know when it is important to pull up close enough to the pavement, and know when it is important and is okay to have a little gap away from the pavement. And right here on this road, we have the same situation. And if you notice again, he takes his time and pulls up very close to the pavement, understanding the width of the road, as you'd see here. Now, it felt like we did hit the curb a little here, but in a situation like this on this road, I am more likely to ignore that as an instructor and as an examiner, because I understand why that happened, which is because he's aware of how narrow the road is and hence want to pull up properly and close enough to the pavement so that any traffic, both oncoming and those coming behind, can be able to fit into the road to pass. So this shows a very good awareness of the road and the width of the road, and this is very important when you're driving, so that you're able to position yourself accordingly. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, they are now coming back to the test center. So as we can see so far, this is actually a very, very good driving on this test, and could have actually been a minor fault if those few faults were actually avoided luckily. So, but still very good, you know, very, very good drive. And remember, if you have enjoyed this video, if you find it very useful, don't forget, please click the like button, share, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then don't forget to click the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel for that, remember that you can actually make some token contributions to the channel. Nothing is too small, £1 to £3, whatever you can afford to. That would be really, really appreciated. So you can use the super thanks icon beneath the video. It's like a heart icon beneath the video, and that would take you right to the contribution point. So yep, that is it. And at this point, it is feedback time, and of course there was nothing much to discuss in this case for this test, because there was just 3 faults. One was, which is your show me question, and then the other one was pulling up, and the third I cannot remember what it was. But yeah, so that is it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, best of luck with your lessons, and all the best with your tests. Peace. I'm out.